Good Wednesday evening, March 19th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A Moses Lake man has been arrested for homicide after calling the Moses Lake Police Department and confessing to the killing of his roommate. A 41-year-old Tonasket man is charged with a federal offense for allegedly collecting sexual images of children and threatening them online. Rain showers in our forecast through the end of the week with a big warm-up headed our way by next week. Your local weather forecast is coming up. A 70-year-old East Wenatchee man was arrested Tuesday and had his handguns impounded for allegedly displaying them in anger inside the Grant Road Safeway store. East Wenatchee Assistant Police Chief Eric Hampton said the man was trying to buy alcohol in the store shortly before 11:30 a.m. and was unhappy with the customer assistance he was receiving. He allegedly displayed the two handguns he was wearing in concealed holsters and demanded better service. Hampton declined to name the suspect, who was contacted by police after leaving the store and given a criminal citation. He was charged with misdemeanor brandishing a weapon and ordered to appear in local court. Hampton says police took the man's firearms for safekeeping until his case is resolved, and he's barred from re-entering the Safeway store. The suspect also held a concealed weapon permit, which is now under review. The Wenatchee varsity girls softball team kicked off their 6-5 win against the Ephrata Tigers with the ribbon cutting of their new softball stadium. The stadium celebration was delayed to March due to several setbacks during the construction process. One of those setbacks was the delivery of the scoreboard, which was finally set up only about an hour before the ribbon cutting. Wenatchee School District Superintendent Corey Callahar shared at the event that the scoreboard is sponsored in memory of his parents. The $4.1 million softball field resolved a Title IX complaint from 2022 that alleged unequal treatment of male and female players. A Moses Lake man has been arrested for homicide after calling the Moses Lake Police Department and confessing to the killing of his roommate. In the late evening of March 12th, Moses Lake police officers were dispatched to Marina Drive to respond to the death investigation of Kurt Al Volkartson. He's 61 of Moses Lake. Evidence gathered at the scene indicated that the cause of death had been a possible overdose. However, officers were later contacted by Kyler M. Worthen, 34 years old of Moses Lake, who confessed to killing Volkartson, who was also his roommate. Wortham was booked into the Grant County Jail yesterday, though detectives say they will continue to investigate further. State economists have released their outlook for Washington's revenue prospects over the next few years. About $71 billion by 2027. That's down about $500 million from the previous forecast in November and $1 billion less than accounted for in the state's current budget. Lawmakers need to pass the new biennial budget before their current legislative session ends on April 27th. Democrats who control the legislature are expected to release their budget proposal on Monday. They're expected to offer new taxes on the state's wealthier individuals to bring in more revenue. When we come back, the W.T. Clark Pipeline Bridge will close for 17 months due to construction of the South End Bike and Pedestrian Access Bridges project. And when Congress averted a government shutdown last week, it also boosted pay levels for America's wildland firefighters. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan.
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
Central Washington Water is home to the Hot Spring Spa for over 45 years. Come see the Freshwater Smart IQ. It monitors your saltwater spa's pH balance, chlorine, and more. Or the cold plunge tub that will leave you feeling rejuvenated. Plug-and-play spas make hot tubbing easy. With great financing available, cold water, salt water, hot water, Central Washington Water has a spa for your budget and your lifestyle. Stop by today. The TBL season continues for the Wenatchee Bighorns, and NCWLIFE channel is back with more coverage. Watch the Bighorns take on the Vancouver Volcanoes on Thursday, March 20th at W.B. Smith Gym on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College. Grant Olson and Jamie Council are courtside with all the action. Watch Bighorns basketball on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
A 41-year-old Tonasket man is charged with a federal offense for allegedly collecting sexual images of children and threatening them online. Acting U.S. Attorney Richard Barker this week announced charges against 41-year-old Daniel John Kraft, saying he solicited images from a minor via Snapchat, offered the victim money and drugs, and threatened them with kidnapping. Kraft is a registered sex offender based on a 2013 conviction for solicitation of a minor. Authorities arrested him at his Tonasket home on March 5th. Kraft was arraigned last week and is now being held in Spokane jail ahead of his next federal court hearing scheduled for Friday. The W.T. Clark Pipeline Bridge will close for 17 months due to construction of the South End Bike and Pedestrian Access Bridges project. The project intends to improve pedestrian and bicycle access to the Apple Capitol Loop Trail by providing a shared-use pathway over barriers in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee. Construction begins in April, and the demolition of the existing bridge ramp into Hale Park will begin on June 4th. In June, the Loop Trail will be closed at that access point and across the Clark Pipeline Bridge for 17 months and is anticipated to reopen in November of 2026. The cities of Wenatchee and East Wenatchee will host a groundbreaking ceremony coming up on April 23rd at 1:30 p.m. When Congress averted a government shutdown last week, it also boosted pay levels for America's wildland firefighters. The continuing resolution to fund federal operations for the next 6 months also approved an increase in the hourly base rates for firefighters, which has awaited congressional action since 2021. The boosts in hourly pay range from 1.5% all the way up to 42%, depending on an employee's classification. The legislation also guarantees premium pay when firefighters are deployed to wildfire incidents outside of their regular duties. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, we will tell you about Expressions by Murph, another North Wenatchee business affected by Phase 1 of the Confluence Parkway project. Wet weather returns tonight through the rest of the week with much warmer temperatures on the way next week. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
There's no place like home. Because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories. And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
It's the National RV Show at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake, March 13th to the 23rd. Check out the enormous selection of both new and used RVs, motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, with huge incentives, 0 down and no payments for 90 days. Top manufacturers are coming from across the country, like Winnebago, Holiday Rambler, Forest River, Thor, Flagstaff, Grand Design RV, and more. And enter to win $30,000 or a new RV. Get $3,000 over NADA for your trade, paid for or not. So come on down to the National RV Show at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake, March 13th to the 23rd.
The Wenatchee Bighorns are back in action against the Seattle Superhawks on Saturday, March 22nd, and NCWLIFE channel has you covered. Join Grant Olson and Jamie Council with all the action at W.B. Smith Gym on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College. Our pregame starts at 6:45. Follow the Wenatchee Bighorns all season on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
NCWLIFE's news team is keeping an eye on North Central Washington. Join us each weekday evening at 5, 6, and 10 for the NCWLIFE Evening News, with interviews, in-depth reporting, and the kind of insights you can't find anywhere else. We're the hometown news station for the Wenatchee Valley, the Cascade Foothills, and up and down the Columbia River. Thanks for watching NCWLIFE, proud to be part of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival.
Local sculptor Daniel Murphy, owner of Expressions by Murph, has lived and operated his business out of a basement at 1422 North Wenatchee Avenue for the last 12 years. Now that property is being acquired by the city of Wenatchee for Phase 1 of the Confluence Parkway project, a massive street and bridge construction. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE's Casey Safford spoke with Murphy to hear about the struggles of moving his home and business into a new city.
I'm Daniel Patrick Murphy. I've been a sculptor since I was 13, but professionally, age 29. I have been at this location for 12 years. When they told me they were going to destroy this building for highway improvements, I have to admit I was taken by surprise. If I remember right, it was a good year of warning a year ago. But personally, I didn't believe it. I don't know why. I don't think I wanted to accept it, but I had to. When there was a few months left, I had to go into serious talking with the city planners, and I chose to have a motorhome instead of live in an apartment. But my first choice was to have a moderate home with a shop and or large garage. This is 1,400 square foot. Even a garage isn't big enough, but if that's all I could get, I was willing. So I'm just very thankful for what the city has done for me, but I'm very sad because I don't have a shop anymore.
So do you support the Confluence Parkway project and believe that the traffic it will ease for the community justifies the number of local businesses displaced?
Yes, I believe it's a well-justified project, and I'm not against it. It just, when it hits you personally, like, hi, this wonderful thing's going to happen, but guess what? There's no shop. That's my whole thing. I wanted a shop and a place to park the motorhome with all the hookups. I would have been happy.
So you're going to be parking this motorhome that the city provided for you at a residential address?
Well, the city planners found it and inquired, and I agreed because there was nowhere else to go. I agreed because you can't just park a motorhome where you want. And so I'm there, but I'm not thrilled by it.
Why did you decide to relocate instead of just closing? You know, some people in your situation might not think that the work and process of relocating is worth the trouble after so many years in one space.
Well, see, sculpture is part of my life. I've been sculpturing since I was 13 years old. I'm 74 now. Quitting your passion, it doesn't make any sense. Usually when people retire or they're forced to retire, they sit in an easy chair And the statistics say that they could potentially die within a few years. Homie's not ready to kick the bucket. I am not ready to quit. I want a shop and I'm going to fight for it. I'm not going to fight anyone. I just, it's an expression. I need a shop. I've got to continue my passion.
So you view this motorhome situation as a temporary solution while you continue to search for a more permanent shop?
Yes. And I would like to say, with a little humor, I will be back.
Time for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic Wednesday. Clouds out there and quite a bit cooler today. In fact, quite a bit cooler than we should be for this time of year. We'll get to that in a second. But here's a shot out this afternoon outside our weather window, looking down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Wenatchee Heights tower camera. You can see a lot of those clouds that we had today, even some mid-level clouds. It obscured the sun for most of the day today, and that kept our temperatures way down. The reason we're seeing these clouds, pretty big storm systems headed our way with rain showers in many locations this afternoon, but we're talking snow, especially in our area mountain passes, Stevens Pass and Snoqualmie. Stevens could pick up 6 to 8 inches of new snow, while Snoqualmie by tomorrow morning could see 4 to 6 inches of snow. So yeah, you will run into some winter travel heading over either of those passes over about the next 12 hours or so. Today's high temperature much cooler than we should be for this time of year. In fact, 9 degrees below our normal of 54. Unofficially, we were only at 45 today. Our record, once again, second day in a row for 2024. 72 degrees last year on this date. 30 this morning, that's cool. 35 is our normal low temperature. 19 our record low, and that was set in 1965. Sunrise 7:05 this morning, and it sets this evening at 7:13. All right, getting you into those Thursday temperatures. We will see a slow warm up as we get to the weekend. Almost mid-50s for the Columbia Basin. Moses Lake and Ephrata at 54. Quincy around 53 degrees tomorrow. And then just a little above 50 from Ellensburg into Wenatchee, Eniat, and Chelan. Omak will also see low to mid-50s tomorrow. 47 for Lake Wenatchee, 49 in Leavenworth, and a high temperature of 50 tomorrow afternoon for you folks in Kashmir. Tonight we can expect cloudy skies, big, strong westerly flow moving into the state, and that's dragging a lot of clouds in with it. Rain will be likely tonight. I'm just expecting some light rain showers tonight and into our overnight. Low temperatures tonight into the mid-30s. Getting into Thursday, happy spring tomorrow. Today our final day of winter. Cloudy skies for your first day of spring. About a 40% chance that we'll see a scattered shower or two. Going to warm up some, though, with high temperatures tomorrow in those low 50s. Getting into Friday, maybe some breezy conditions around parts of north central Washington. Cloudy, a 70% chance of rain. High temperatures even a little bit warmer than Thursday into the low and mid 50s. Same goes for Saturday. Unstable weather to kick off our weekend. Mostly cloudy. It will be seasonal with high temperatures about normal in those low to mid 50s. And then for Sunday, a chance once again that we could see the wet stuff. Another area of low pressure is dragging a cold front, very weak through the state on Sunday. We'll see about a 50-50 chance for rain in the afternoon by Sunday. Warmer temperatures too, with highs solidly into the mid 50s on Sunday. And then folks, we are just going up from there. Getting you into Monday, partly cloudy, nice strong ridge of high pressure over the Pacific Northwest. Very strong southerly flow. We're going to see highs on Monday warming into the mid 60s, and we are going up from there as we get you into Tuesday. Look at all of this sunshine. A great look at that high pressure ridge over us. We will warm up on Tuesday to highs near 70 degrees. All right, your 7-day forecast now. Tonight we'll drop down to 34, rainy from Thursday into Friday. High temperatures in the maybe low to mid 50s for Friday. We'll warm up a bit this weekend. 53 with mostly cloudy skies Saturday. A 50-50 chance for rain on Sunday and 55. And then look at Monday and Tuesday. Partly cloudy Monday and 65. Tuesday, sunny with a high temperature of 68 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's Sports Report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station based right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Be sure to tune in for coverage of local sports. Once again, this spring we'll bring you prep boys soccer, baseball, and softball. In addition, we're adding Wenatchee Bighorn basketball in March, April, and May. It's all right here on the NCWLIFE channel, our Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as our website at ncwlife.com.
Happy Wednesday. Seattle Kraken erased an early deficit with 6 unanswered goals to beat Chicago 6-2 last night. We'll pick the game up in the first period. The Blackhawks up 2-0. The Big Cat, Adam Larson, found the back of the net. John Forsland with the call on Kong TV.
Period 1. Kapokako at the line. A deflected dump in by Spencer Knight. Beniers out of the corner. Larson hits the target. Oh, the Big Cat. A quick answer by the Kraken. They really needed that one. And what they saw, what everyone saw, we think. Now Eberle, Tobin and Fans on it. Alexiak up top. Stevenson in tight. Eberle, he scores! That's hockey, baby! What a play! Beautiful pass, right on the money. Bedard. Nice steal by Andre Burakovsky. Great hand-eye by McCann. Here he comes. He scores! Hey, what do you say? Jared McCann. High cheddar on Spencer Knight. And the Kraken have a 3-2 lead. Moves in. Lays it back. Schwartz moves beautifully. Maintains control. And now they work it around the clock. Larson cross ice. They score! Slammed home. So awaiting that pass was Matty Beniers. He got lost on the play like a good goal scorer would, and did. And the Kraken have a 4-2 lead. Good job by Monty. Acemont, a reverse hit on Bedard, who goes down. Acemont in control of it. This way for Montour. Back for Acemont. The second chance, the third chance is a charm. It's Shane Wright. Acemont was denied twice. And Shane Wright said, hey, let me at it. I'll handle it. Nicely, this is Andre Burakovsky. All the way across. Wright, Larson, Wright again. They score! Crank up the sweet Georgia Brown. Just a beautiful play. Shane Wright, his second goal tonight. 6-2, Seattle.
Seattle remains on the road tonight with a game at Minnesota. That's on TNT. Mariners got long balls from Victor Robles and Cal Raleigh at a 9-3 win over Milwaukee Tuesday at Cactus League Baseball. Luke Raley also collected a couple of hits at the plate, while Brian Wu earned the victory on the mound, going 5 innings, allowing 3 runs on 5 hits with 4 strikeouts.
Here's the 3-2. Swung on, crushed right field. It is hammered on its way to the wall, and it is gone into the bullpen. Cal Raleigh, a rocket into the pen. 2-run home run, and the Mariners have the lead. Wow.
That thing was a line drive, barely cleared the top of the wall and right, and hit the back wall of the bullpen, and it was tattooed.
The pitch to Robles. Swung on, ripped into left field, base hit. Canzone's going to score from third. Everyone else will be held. It's merry-go-round time. The Mariners on the board. Their fourth straight single. So runners at first and second. Here's Robles. The pitch to him. Swung on, golfed high in the air, left field. It's got loft. Collins back. He's at the track. He's looking up. Bye-bye. Onto the berm. Victor Robles, a 3-run smash. A majestic 3-run home run by Victor.
Here's the set by Alexander. And now the 1-1 pitch, swinging a fly ball into the gap in left center field. Well hit. This one is going, and this one is going to be off the fence. On a hop, rounding third, heading home is Bliss. He will score. Luke Raley into second base with an RBI double going the other way. And it's now the Mariners 5 and Milwaukee 3. The stretch and the 2-1. Rosarena with a swing and a line drive into left center field. Well hit. Collins going back. Can't get to it. It's on the track and off the fence. Here comes Luke Raley rounding third. Being waved in. He will score. Randy Rosarena in at second base.
Seattle was back in Peoria today against the Rangers and will have split squad games tomorrow afternoon against the Royals and the Reds. Well, the Seahawks introduced their newest acquisition at wide receiver on Monday. Eastern Washington's own Cooper Kupp stood before reporters at the VMAC in Renton saying how nice it is to be playing for his favorite team as a kid.
Growing up watching Seattle, watching football being a huge part of my life, and then playing in Eastern Washington, full circle moment coming back to being able to throw on a Seattle Seahawks uniform. That's a really cool thing, and something that I don't take lightly, and just really excited to be able to be a part of this program, what this program's been about, and continue to move it forward.
Kupp has also surpassed expectations his entire life, getting drafted as an undersized receiver out of Eastern Washington University and eventually earning a Super Bowl MVP with the LA Rams.
I've had people doubt me for a long time through my life, and in some ways rightfully so. I mean, I was a very small kid growing up and cared a lot, but there's a lot of people that care a lot and just don't have the stuff stringed together. And I was very blessed to have a lot of coaches to come alongside me and teach me and show me the way, and very thankful for that. And I wouldn't be here today without that. But with all those doubts and all those things, it's never been about proving other people wrong. I think I've lived in that space, and it never goes well. It's been about being who I am, like believing in myself and knowing that I can be who I see myself becoming.
Kupp made a deal with Uchenna Nwosu's charity for a donation to be able to wear the number 10 jersey coming up next season. Well, as you fill out your brackets for the NCAA tournament today, I need to make a couple of corrections. Apologies. Gonzaga's first-round game against Georgia tomorrow starts at 1:35 on TBS. My apologies for getting the incorrect times there yesterday. The Husky women will play their first 4 game tomorrow at 4 o'clock against Columbia in the NCAA tournament. I did have Haley Van List, TCU Horned Frogs, right. They'll play Friday against Fairleigh Dickinson at 12:30 on ESPN2. Checking the prep baseball scoreboard from Tuesday, Wenatchee pounded Ephrata 15-zip. Quincy got by Warden 5-1. Okanagan beat up Omak 17-3. Cashmere beat Brewster 9-2. Cascade whipped up on Waterville Mansfield 6-3. Prep fast pitch softball yesterday. Tenaska took care of Oroville 27-1. Wenatchee edged Ephrata 6-5. Cashmere beat Brewster 18-1. Okanagan topped Omak 17-3. Bridgeport and Liberty Bell 29-4 the final in that one. Waterville Mansfield down Cascade 16-6. Prep soccer last night, Wenatchee edged Meade in a PK shootout 2-1. Othello topped Moses Lake 5-2. Cascade edged Cashmere 2-1. Quincy down Chelan 4-1. Liberty Bell topped Omak 2-1. Okanagan beat Brewster 5-1. And Ephrata edged Bridgeport 3-2. Wenatchee Bighorn basketball returns tomorrow to the NCWLIFE channel. Wenatchee returns home at WB Smith Gym to host the Vancouver Volcanoes. And TBL play at 7 o'clock. Grant Olson, Jamie Council have your pregame at 6:45. It's a stream only tomorrow night. That's on our Facebook page and YouTube and also the TBL site. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure, on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.